Hey, this is Tim Irwin, and I'm doing my presentation on September's Book of the Month. The book I chose is Emancipated by M.G. Reyes. Now, it's a teen novel, and it's a quick read for 384 pages, but it's interesting because there's 6 main characters, and the 6 main characters have their own chapter to themselves. And that's the cool thing about the book. Other than that, I'll give it a low rating, but before we go into the ratings, I'll give you a brief summary. Emancipated, the definition for it is to free someone from someone else's control of power. Now, probably back in the day, it was used for slavery, and that was probably emancipate was a big word for them. But now, it's still a law, and if kids from the ages of 14 to 17 want to get rid of don't want to be part of the family anymore and just want to live on their own, they can write a petition and live on their own, get their own job, but still finish school, which sounds like a fun deal, but like to see all the struggles and everything these kids go through in the book, it doesn't sound like a good deal anymore. So I'm going to give you a brief definition on the 6 main characters. So there's Candace and Grace. Candace and Grace are stepsisters, clearly brought together by marriage, but her mom got full ownership of Candace, and after that her mom remarried multiple times and the girls didn't want to deal with it anymore, so they emancipated themselves and they had a beach house in Venice, California, so they said may as well live there. Mom's letting us pay the rent, so why not? And then you have Maya, who doesn't really have much background on her. She just popped up in the book because they needed somebody, and that's really the background I got on Maya. Lucy, apparently at a young age, her parents died, and she was living with her aunt, didn't really want to live with her aunt, so wrote a petition, and she ended up with the girls at the beach house. Then there's John Michael. John Michael and his parents fought all the time because John Michael's gay, and his parents don't like the way he's living, and the parents don't like how he's gay. So for a whole year before he got in the beach house, he lived in his car, stayed in the high school parking lot. Now there's Pelo. He lived in Texas. His dad owned the company in Texas, but said there's better marketing going on in Mexico, so he was going to move the company out of Mexico, and they were going to move to Mexico. Now the theme with Pelo is he worked at a country club and he teaches tennis, but he also plays tennis, and he's like a professional athlete. But he's underage still, so he can't live on his own, so he emancipated himself and wrote a petition. And then he knew the girls knew him because he put something up on the internet, and he ended up in the beach house as well. So they all ended up in Venice together, and like they were trying to get to know each other. Some of them had Mercedes, and they were like, "You're emancipated. How do you have Mercedes?" So like they got to know each other. Some things have happened, but they had parties, they drank a lot, they smoked a lot. They didn't really have the most healthy living, but they also had to pay rent, so they had their own jobs, they went to school, etc. Now, for ratings, I would give it about a 3 out of 5 stars. Like I said at the beginning of the video, 300 pages is way too long to actually get the book moving. Not really all the characters, something not really bad happens to them. Only one character towards the end of the book is only really centered around one character, which if you want to have a good book with 6 main characters, you probably should have it around all 6. It's just a boring book, and if you like boring, if you like more reality than anticipation and thrilling, then this is your book. The book was very hard to pick up. I couldn't really pick it up. I was dreading coming home and reading the book for 5 minutes every single day. So if you're more of a bookworm and you like to read a lot of books at once, may as well just do it really fast and get the 384 pages out of the way. I learned actually a lot throughout this book. Even though I didn't like reading it, I learned that you need your parents. They help you establish a healthy living style, and that underage drinking and underage doing drugs and all that, it's a waste. And somebody could get hurt from it. Somebody could really end up in a bad place. And it's just a learning style where you need your parents. They teach you what to do and how to live. And really, 6 teenage kids in one house together, is that a smart idea? No. So I think M.G. Reyes wrote this book to tell teenage kids living with their parents may stink for a couple years, not a couple, many years, but in the end, it pays off. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation because it took many tries.